Hello everyone, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day and are making some really good trades as per usual. And let's dive into some GameStop analysis, and we'll take a look at the gap fill here. I wonder what the price was. There we go. So I guess we filled the gap to the tick here, and then we started to reverse. So right after like 27.30, we hit the gap. So now we did fill the gap. It's starting to reverse. Everyone's gonna start to panic. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, we got the movement and the count that I was looking for finally. So we retraced. It took its time, and it retraced back to fill the gap. We finished on the smaller time frames with a bearish divergence, which is what we wanted. And on the larger time frames, you ended with no divergence, right? So you finished with no divergence, showing that this is most likely some sort of connector wave, and that the retrace, if it is going to retrace, the target area is being raised now, because as the price goes higher, the target area gets dragged higher as well. Just thinking that this is some sort of like local top here in GameStop. And again, I'm not trying to upset people, because I know there's a lot of people who just want the price again to go up every day, every single day, nonstop. But again, my analysis is not to make you feel happy all the time. It's to just give you a realistic idea of where GameStop could be headed. And look at that. Looky here. We got pulled up. So the price got pulled up here all the way to 18.29, right? If it is going to come down, if it for whatever reason, right? I'm not saying it's going to come down, but if it is going to come down, your target area is right here at 18.29. And unfortunately, it's below our pivot here, but it's still a bullish setup in my opinion. Because I think, actually, to be honest, GameStop could still pump higher. If it were to pump higher, this gets dragged up even higher above this wick, then that's even more bullish, in my opinion. But let's get back here, because I'm seeing a lot of people who get very upset recently that I'm even suggesting that the price could come back down below where Ryan go and bought, like the CEO. And again, I don't factor these things in. Like, people are saying like $25 is now the new floor, and 22 is, it's never going back below. Again, I never say never, right? Because then it happens, and then people are in disbelief, and then they just freak out, they panic, they get angry. And I don't get emotional with my stocks, but I just do analysis. So this is what it's showing to me right now. It would give us the necessary oomph to kind of drop it back down and erase divergence on the lower time not the lower time frames, but take out these bottom RSIs, because we want to finish this with no divergence for a wave 2. And again, this is probably not going to go well with a lot of people, but hopefully this can push up a little bit more. This B wave can extend a little bit higher. But regardless, it's just a buy area. You don't need to get mad about it. And it could even end before, right? Like it ended here, right? I told you guys that my dip buy area for this buy area, trade that I had here was at $20.55, and we never hit it. And on this day, I posted a bunch of buys on Reddit. I was showing everyone that was just getting into some huge positions on GameStop, and I mean, look what happened after, right? It was a nice pump that we got. Now I'm not even short. I'm not shorting or anything. I'm just saying, if for whatever reason the price were to come down, if you guys even look at the stock market, right, that the indices are down in the after hours right now, and they were all hitting my short areas on the smaller time frame. So I am in some QQQ shorts, right? And then I am, short some of the indexes right now. We haven't even taken the pivot highs, and we continue to do this kind of like distribution that institutions do. And it's really indicative of like some sort of like, B wave here. I think we still have one more low in the market before it's all said and done, because I'm seeing a lot of like cheering and screaming that the lows are in and we can't go lower. This is the floor. Right? Again, I never say never, and anything can happen in the market, and you don't know it. You're not smarter than the market, right? You don't. If you were, you'd be a billionaire. You wouldn't. You wouldn't be on Reddit looking for all these trade ideas and stuff like that. But I'm not trying to shit on people or anything. But like, these are just the facts, right? And I'm not a billionaire either. I don't know everything in the market. And yeah, let's take a look at the what Market Cipher is doing right now. So Market Cipher looking real good, bullish, right? We got a bullish weekly. Love to see it. 15 and a -5 on the dual band strength index. We got a green dot printing. You even got red money flow curling up. Like, I remember when we were back here, right, and I was telling people, yes, there's going to be some downside, but I think the downside will be very, you know, it'll be some short-term pain we need to endure before the bottoming process really, you know, starts. And now we're seeing very small amount of red money flow here, and then the momentum waves are curling up, which is exactly what we want to see. But we don't want to get too ahead of ourselves because, again, like I said, the indices are in a pretty dangerous spot right now. And at the same time, we were kind of let down the other, you know, the couple of weeks ago with that big pump and dump, right? And then a lot of people were really happy, and then the next day it was a disaster, right? Because we dropped from like 29 all the way down to what, $20, $20.70. It's like a 30% drop. That's not much. I mean, I think the GME holders have been through a lot more than just 30%, but still, right? It's 30%, and now we're getting led back up, and my count is showing some sort of like connector here, or some sort of retrace in a B wave before we extend lower again. And then we don't have to make a new low. And I mean, like, if we do make a new low, we don't have to hit the buy area. We could easily be held up here by a huge amount of buy orders at $18 or $19 or even $20. And again, I don't want you guys to get upset that if the price goes below, you know, and there's going to be like a whole narrative shift right now. Right now, it's like, since Ryan bought, it's only gone up, right? And it can't go back down. It's up only. And if it does go down, people are probably going to start saying Ryan dumped on stuff like that, right? So it's like so weird how like the sentiment and the narrative shifts when it doesn't go our way. So again, I'm just showing this right here. And then we'll take a look at wave edge to see if anything's going on here on the smaller time frame. So nothing on the daily time frame. There's nothing on the weekly too, by the way. There's 3-day, 2-day, nothing really going on. The 4-hour time frame, there's nothing, no buys, no sells, just a few buys here, right? The 1-hour time frame, and no selling either, right? I'm not seeing any selling, but some dip buys here, right along the way down. A big buy here that came right at the lows and reversed it. The 30-minute, a little bit of selling here. It's only when we get on the smaller time frames. I think it was like the 5-minute or the 12-minute or something like that. Yeah. So you're starting to see a lot of distribution again, right? So again, they're dip buying at the lows, and then they're unloading it as it goes up slowly, and they're distributing the stock. So that's just what institutions do. And you can see the goes down, they buy, goes up, they sell some more. But it's the high end, right? We could continue to extend. The connector can go higher, right? I'm not saying it's over, and I'm not saying that it's 100% guaranteed that we're gonna do this. But again, a lot of people are looking for 100% guaranteed, and that's not what T is about. It's about probabilities. But again, for the people just don't understand that. But hey, that's fine. I'm just trying to give you guys some ideas here. And if it is the low, if the low is in, then you should just be impulsing out of here, breaking through this high and going straight up, right, alongside Bitcoin, which by the way is not going really straight up right now. It's kind of funny because now we're starting to see like GameStop trade a little bit like Bitcoin, right? It's going back up and going back down. I was looking at it on some days where it was trading, Bitcoin was up and GameStop was up and the market was down, right? It's kind of it's getting a little bit interesting now. But yeah, I think if Bitcoin, just real quick, because we're taking a look at it, Bitcoin's low. If it is in, then that's a beautiful. That's perfect, right? Because then we'll get some sort of like retrace in a 1-2 in Bitcoin. It's going to set up for a big buy here, where it possibly doesn't make a low, but GameStop for whatever reason does make a new low, or maybe it doesn't, and you get a huge opportunity right, to possibly accumulate, as maybe the company GameStop has already bought Bitcoin, right, for their strategy, and they're going to do this Michael Saylor type of investing in Bitcoin, which, by the way, I don't think MicroStrategy is doing too well. Like, they did get a nice little pump here, but apparently, like, on the news, like, they're losing like 5.91 billion in the first Q1, because this guy, I don't know, for whatever reason, he just doesn't buy the dips. He buys the rips. Like, when it rips higher, like, he FOMO buys Bitcoin. Like, and then he just starts accumulating Bitcoin at the worst prices possible. And I get that his outlook is very long term, but it doesn't mean he should be just buying like at a top. He bought up here, and he bought up here, he bought up here, but he didn't buy on these dips down here. And then he bought it back up on the rip up here. Like, maybe he is the one causing the rip ups when he buys, and he just announces it after. But hey, I don't know. All right, I don't know. I'm just speculating here. So I'm just expecting some sort of retrace here. If we did get a nice little impulse off the lows here for Bitcoin, then you should see some sort of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And then impulse up, and then a GameStop should hopefully follow that. But as far as the markets go in general, it's not a really rosy pattern that I have here. I'm sort of seeing like the Qs or the SPY and the indices in general breaking down and taking out these lows possibly at 402 and making new lows at 378 to 321. It's a big range, but this is where support should be found, and buyers should start to step in to defend this area, and you'll find buyers down here, right? Just like how we're finding sellers up here, right? We found sellers here, we found sellers here, we almost found sellers here. Here it was like the after hours, I think. The after hours we hit the sell box, and then it came down, but then that was a pretty disastrous couple of days afterwards, and then the retrace, right? And this sell area I put here in advance. This is where buyers stepped in. This is where sellers are stepping in again. And if we manage to take out this high, this is where we should find sellers here. But it could even do a more complex correction and stuff like that. But I'm not going to get into that right now. I'm just here to do analysis on GameStop. And again, I think the path for GameStop in the long term is very bullish. It's still extremely bullish. I see a significant upside coming. But we may just go for some more chop, right? And when we get on the smaller time frames, like the daily, it looks good, right? Looks good, but you got red money flow. Those RSIs are starting to open up a bit at the highs, and then on the 4-hour time frame, you do have green money flow, but you just printed a red dot. And it's possible that you could start to retrace or just chop at these levels here, but you got lots of green money flow on the smaller time frames. It's looking good. And I'm not trying to say it's looking really bad. 15-minute though, it's running out. It's starting to dwindle. That green money flow is starting to fade away. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Time will tell. Again, I was talking about retracing back up in some sort of connector here. When we made 5 waves down, we needed a B wave back up. Now we're getting this B wave. Well, now we just need to be patient and to see if this is gonna play out like we want it to, right? And if it doesn't, that's fine. It's just go up. I have no problem with it going up. More up, please. Just straight up. But we'll see. All right. Have a good evening, guys. Peace.